Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out today. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. So before we get into these topics, if you end up enjoying the video, be sure to leave it a like. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. We're starting here talking about a game that I'm actually really excited to play. It's coming out tomorrow, Helldivers 2. So I want you to let me know down in the comments below if you are planning to pick up and play Helldivers 2 on PS5 or PC. But we're starting with some good news here regarding Helldivers 2 in that it's seemingly going to do really well, which I don't want to say is that unexpected, but it does seem to me that this could kind of end up being a bit of a sleeper hit, as in, frankly, I didn't expect there to be this much excitement for it. So this is being reported by Push Square. They say Sony is launching Helldivers 2 this week on February 8th, and by the looks of it, the co-op shooter might be more popular than you think. From what can be gleaned from digital storefronts, the shoot 'em up seems to be killing it in terms of pre-orders. As noted by ex-user Kami, the game is currently the top result for pre-orders on the PlayStation Store when sorted by best selling. We can confirm that's the case when we had a look as well. It's also been pointed out that the PC version of Helldivers 2 is among the best-selling games on Steam right now. At the time of writing, globally, it's in 6th place, and in the UK and US, it's currently in 3rd, placing just above the explosively popular Palworld in terms of pre-purchases. The game is numero uno. So, yeah, it's looking like there's way more interest in Helldivers 2 than, honestly, I would have expected. It's not that I expected it to flop or do that bad, but to just kind of see it shooting up to the #1 spot on PlayStation, but also on the, paid games or pre-ordered games on Steam, and seeing it just kind of track this way, it's really good to see, because to me, Helldivers 2 looks really good. I don't know if I can say it's going to be like a mind-blowingly good game, but it just looks like a high-quality 4-player co-op fun experience, and it's also one of the first games that Sony's kind of putting out here with their live service push, making it clear that there's going to be a year of content with it. And so that gives us our next update for Helldivers 2. This is being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. They say Helldivers 2 will be getting free story updates as part of its roadmap of extra post-launch content. Developer Arrowhead Games Studios was vague on what these updates will include, but the Galactic War looks set to continue for the foreseeable future. Once players have finished the game's story, the events during the Galactic War will be expanded through a series of free post-launch updates where the universe of Helldivers 2 will grow and change. The gameplay will be tweaked with new tools, new challenges, and new threats. One of those that has already been revealed will be the XO44 Walker, which is due to arrive soon after launch. So a lot of really good news for Helldivers 2, and again, let me know if it's a game you're planning on playing. Moving on to the next topic, we have an update for Spider-Man 2. If we head over to X or Twitter, Insomniac Games says our next update is coming March 7th. Our title update for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 PS5 arrives next month and adds highly requested features like New Game Plus, new suits, and more. Watch our social media for a complete list of features closer to release. So, yeah, this is, I would say, a pretty significant update that a lot of Spider-Man 2 players have been eagerly anticipating, specifically the New Game Plus mode. A lot of people just really want to see Insomniac roll that out, and so it's good that they were able to give us an official update here with a date. So it's exactly 1 month from the time that they're announcing it, and it's going to be a free update, of course. So there you go. Let me know if you're going to play Spider-Man 2's New Game Plus. Moving on to the next topic. This one pertains to Microsoft, but it's very interesting because, as most of you know, there's been a lot of conversations happening lately, but it seems like they are stocking up on PS5 dev kits. This is being reported by Push Square. They say while an enormous amount of attention has been placed on the games Microsoft is potentially bringing to PlayStation, reports also suggest the tech giant has been quietly stocking up on PS5 dev kits to support its plans. Speculation comes courtesy of fan site Xbox Era, which broke the news that Starfield may be coming to Sony's system later this year. And the article also kickstarted this with a landslide of stories, which also talked about Indiana Jones and even Gears of War coming to PlayStation. Microsoft will have already owned plenty of PS5 dev kits, of course, as its output already includes fully multi-platform titles like Minecraft. However, the fact that it's been making additional investment into more of Sony's hardware simply adds more fuel to the fire of its impending pivot. And so, yeah, this is something that I think just kind of went a little bit overlooked or underreported, which is understandable because the rumor mill the past couple of days has been absolutely mind-boggling. But apparently, one of the things that is circulating is that, yeah, Microsoft basically ordered a bunch more PS5 dev kits, which is interesting because it seems to indicate that Sony, on some level, knew that this was going to happen or had some kind of idea that Microsoft was planning something along these lines. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait till next week again to get that update from Microsoft, and I will certainly be here reporting that to you guys, letting you know what's going on there. But moving on to the next topic, we're talking about Stellar Blade, again being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. Stellar Blade developer ShiftUp has shared its estimate of the game's length, specifically for the campaign, as well as 100% completion. The game's main story will take around 25 hours to complete, depending on your playstyle, and it could take anywhere between 30 and 50 hours for 100% completion. Now, I'm assuming that's also based on your playstyle because that's like a 20-hour difference there. But it says here, speaking of difficulty, ShiftUp has said that Stellar Blade's combat isn't that easy and requires players to devise a strategy based on enemy movements. However, there are difficulty and support options for those who simply want to enjoy the game's story. So, yeah, the combat in Stellar Blade looks really good, in my opinion. Some of the boss battles look like they're going to be awesome. So it seems there is a bit of complexity. I think that's conveyed pretty clearly in these trailers with this combat, but there will be difficulty options as well. So, you know, if you're somebody who is going to maybe struggle with it and you just really want to get through the story, you'll be able to choose an easier difficulty. But yeah, Stellar Blade, the pre-orders are up now and it's looking great. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the final topic of the video, which is a doozy. I'll warn you in advance. Apparently, we are talking about a rumor regarding a Bloodborne remake for PlayStation 6 being in the planning stages. Now, this comes from I'm a Hero 2, also known as Head on the Block, and this individual is interesting because they do have a pretty good track record, and so they just kind of came out and said that they're going to share some info regarding Bloodborne. There are 3 bullet points here that I came across on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit where it says Bloodborne Remake for PlayStation 6 is in the planning stages. Bullet point number 2 says Bluepoint had the job at the start, but it might be with another studio now. And then bullet point number 3, Bloodborne's PC port was made at some point, but Sony sat on it for multiple reasons. So yeah, I mean, it's, again, strange to be talking about PlayStation 6 games here. I think it's also worth noting that this leaker or insider says that Bloodborne is not happening on PS5. Apparently, this was something that Sony was considering, but they just decided to hold off. And when it does, if it does, I should say, come to PlayStation 6, it's just going to be for PlayStation 6, which is very interesting to think about. So, yeah, I mean, in a way, this is kind of believable. You know, of course, when it comes to Bloodborne, it's like, who knows? But Sony's not dumb. Like, Sony understands how well Bloodborne would do and could do, especially if it's remade. But I think the idea of them choosing to wait a while, right? Like, hey, there's so much demand for this game, and the PlayStation 6 is going to be coming probably 2027, 2028, give or take. Sony's going to want to have a huge push to ensure that they can get people to move from PS5 to PS6. Saving something like Bloodborne Remake for PS6 would definitely be a big way to get people to pick up a PlayStation 6. It would 100% be a system seller, no doubt about that. And especially if there's this notion that they're not going to make it cross-gen, that could be huge for it as well. But I also just think kind of waiting longer, and I think this is something that not many people maybe considers, that Bloodborne came out in 2015. It was a PS4 game. If they wait to remake it for the PlayStation 6, it'll seem much more justifiable, right? Like, oh, we didn't just want to very quickly remake it. We gave it like a whole generation. Now we're at the PlayStation 6. And you also have to consider, in my opinion, the best part of this, if it's true, just how insanely good this game could look remade for not the PlayStation 5 or even the PlayStation 5 Pro, but the PlayStation 6. I mean, we're in fantasy territory at this point, but still, this is coming from a relatively reliable insider and leaker. So, yeah, just figured I would relay that to you guys. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.